Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Yes, the clock down there does say that time, but this is pre-recorded. Let's just put that out there straight away. Joe Hart, there's been a lot of talk about goalkeepers over the last couple of days. Obviously, a lot of people see Joe Hart as a legend. Joe Hart recently did turn up at the Derby game, and he was in amongst the Celtic fans, which absolutely just made sure that everyone knew that he was a Celtic legend. He's been talking about Celtic. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Yeah.
Talking about management and something that you've ruled yourself out of doing, who is your favourite manager, mate?
Do you know what? My last two I enjoyed the most, Ange and Brendan. And that's probably not just because of their qualities, just because of where my head was at in the game. I didn't really care who was the manager. Now I really think about it, I didn't really care who the manager was. The goalie coach was really important to me.
Right, okay.
Wow.
And I've had some incredible relationships, some top goalie coaches for years.
Yeah.
Shot, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, the last two, how they managed me and let me enjoy the last part of my career, will always sit with me really, really strongly.
Yeah. When you say
It's interesting. It's interesting that he spoke about the goalie coach, and we all know who the goalie coach is at Celtic. And it was interesting that he says that he was the bigger influence in coming to work with him rather than who the manager was at Celtic. Even though it was Ange that picked up the phone and spoke about it.
where your head was at, what did you mean by that? Where you were at the time with football?
Well, so I was kind of on my way out. I'd had so much fun and had so much success, and then all of a sudden I wasn't having the success, and I wasn't even getting to play.
Right.
And I was like, is this really how it's going to finish?
Yeah.
And then got the opportunity to come up to Celtic and finish with. I had to kind of be cautious in coming because I respected the club, but I also couldn't fully commit as in terms of bring my family up because I didn't know if that was going to be it.
Right, okay.
I didn't know if it was going to be worth it. Young children, there had already been enough schools.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to come up. I said, I promise you, got to trust me. I'm going to get it in early that, if I can have some time off, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm just being honest. If that doesn't work for you, then don't bring me.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I'll give you everything I've got, but it just needs to work. And Ange, he totally got it. And we worked beautifully together and turned, I committed everything I possibly could, and he did to me, and it was successful, and I loved it for it.
That's an unbelievable. That's one of the untold stories of Joe Hart coming to Celtic. We knew that he didn't bring his family up, and at the time there was a bit of sort of fan outrage, as there always is with this type of thing, that he's not fully committed. But I mean, he was, wasn't he? And that's the thing about Joe Hart and the story of Joe Hart being a Celtic player for those few years, and he did really get Celtic, and it just makes you I don't know. If you've got a man crush, it's probably Joe Hart, isn't it? No, I've not got a man crush, but you know what I mean. It's it just makes you think that what a player and a gentleman we had at Celtic.
It must have been great playing up there.
It was everything that I never thought I needed, and I got.
What is that stadium like when it's proper going? It's like literally, when I watch TV, because that's my favourite game, the Old Firm Derby.
Yeah,
Obviously I'm a Chelsea fan, but I just love watching Celtic Rangers. It sounds madness on the TV, so to actually be in the arena must be mental.
It's electric. And do you know what? I experienced it as a fan recently. But it's funny when you're playing it because you just have to be kind of just so in control of what's going on and very aware. And I was an older player as well, so I wasn't really feeding off the emotion. I was trying to play it down and just play my game. But I would have loved to experience it as a young person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, because you went, didn't you? You went to the Old Firm a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
That's quite brave.
I couldn't not, because I always look, as a goalie, I always look in that away end.
Yeah.
And I always feel the stadium, and I love the home fans that I've played for have been incredible, but I've always loved travelling with my away fans, and I've always thought I would love to be in there, especially when it's going off and it's bouncing and the support and the people. And I just knew that I had to experience it. I wanted to experience it, so I went to the quarter-final recently, and it got really tasty. But it was amazing being around everyone and seeing how everyone reacted and seeing what the environment's like and the intensity and the police, and it was
I have some of this.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I
absolutely loved it, mate.
That's brilliant. It is just one of the joke, and I will put the link to this is on Golf Life. This interview, And you've got to say, you can actually see Joe Hart almost having a tear in his eye. Do you know what is really interesting is that this is probably the first time in the modern era that you're actually getting to see, you know, what players are going on and doing after a football career really up close and personal. Obviously, back in the day, you would get a lot of football players that would get a testimonial at a club and then they would go and open a boozer somewhere, and or, you know, or they would just disappear off the face of the planet and go and enjoy another life somewhere else, and you wouldn't really see much of them. The fact that Joe Hart, as a player, as a person, is now involved in other things. We see him on the telly. He consistently talks about Celtic. He loves talking about Celtic. But he has his thing away from football as well.
Mind over everything's allowed me to just kind of see the nice side of life. No, it's a mindset thing, mate. And I came out of football pretty open-minded in terms of loved playing football, loved how focused I was, loved how it was my life. But it's a big wide world out there.
Yeah.
Got into the punditry, and then it's only now I've come out of football that I realise how I think, because how I used to think was just, I thought like a goalkeeper, I thought like an athlete, and that's how I worked, and I thought everyone thought like that, but they don't.
Yeah.
And now I've come out of it, I'm really interested to see how other sports and how other athletes or how other people who do well in life, how they think and what the little mindset, little things that you can take from it. I've really enjoyed interviewing.
Yeah.
That's been a side that I've really enjoyed coming out of doing. And I've just loved being able to go into different worlds. Like I've gone into MMA, the MMA world, boxing, world's strongest man, an explorer, gymnast. Sit here with you now.
Yeah.
Just finding out how the world works in all different ways, but how we can be relatable and try and take different bits from people.
It must.
Unbelievable. Anyway, that's Joe Hart, and an absolutely fantastic interview. I will put the full link to the interview down in the description of this video, and just makes you want to just, you know, he is just everything that you would want someone that comes to Celtic to be. Just absolutely a fantastic person. Love the club, and I think that we all wish Joe Hart every single bit of success that he deserves in his life after football.